Okay, we're back.
Hey guys, it's time for the $20 challenge again. We were doing this last year where there were a bunch of rules that went into it. It's kind of like anything goes now. So go out, spend up to $20 on anything video game related and bring it onto the show. I'll show my purchases and then the viewers will vote on who got the better haul. I will show all of the comments for a video in the beginning of the next $20 challenge. So let's do this. We got MarriedGuyGamer on the show today and let's see what he picked up.
What's up, Zach? And welcome back to YouTube. And thank you for inviting me onto your show, man. This is my $20 challenge. This is all from the flea market, and it is all PS2. So let's check it out, man. First one is an RPG here that I already have, but honestly, I spent about 3 hours at the flea market. Only two of them, or the first two, found absolutely nothing. So I paid $5 for this, and it is Final Fantasy XII. Probably my favorite PS2 game. Definitely my favorite RPG on the PS2. I love it. I think it's probably my favorite Final Fantasy. However, I'm loving Final Fantasy Tactics. But it's just a great game. I already have the collector's edition in the steel tin, but just a great game, and it's $5. Next is this was kind of a vendor. They had all their PS2 games were 2 for $5. So I picked up two that I didn't have yet. The first one is Crash Mind Over Mutant, and just kind of going for all the Crash Bandicoot games on the PS2. I really enjoy going for the different series on the PlayStation 2, so which is why I picked this one up also, which is Star Wars Racer Revenge. I guess it's maybe the sequel to Episode 1 Racer on the 64, but I didn't have this one yet. I had the Bombad Racing, but I didn't have Racer Revenge, and I think I'm only about 2 games left on all the Star Wars games for the PlayStation 2. So those were 2 for $5. Keep that glare down. And then lastly, like I said, I spent the first 2 hours just walking around and found absolutely nothing. And I was there with a buddy, and so finally at this last stand, this was a video game vendor, and they were just clearancing all of their PlayStation 2 stuff. In fact, all they had left was or all they were going to keep selling was a Wii, 360, PS3, bunch of DS stuff. Like I said, everything else they had kind of fire sold. Anyway, they had tubs and tubs of PS2 games, so we probably spent about 30-40 minutes at this booth going through every single PS2 game. I think we ended up with 18 games total between the two of us, and here's my share. I paid $10 out of it. And so it worked out to like $1 something a piece. So it was a great deal. First one is disc only, and it is Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick 229. It's disc only here, like I said. It looks like they tried to sell it for $20. Like I said, I certainly didn't pay that. But I don't know much about this game. I kind of saw the $20 sticker and figured it was at least worth checking out. It's too bad it's not a complete game, or not incomplete with a case and manual, but we'll check it out. So, Fistful of Boomstick 229. The next set I thought I was pretty impressed with these, though. I picked up Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. Again, one of the other series on the PlayStation 2. I'm trying to get all of them. There's a lot of spin-offs of the Dynasty Warriors games, Empires, Extreme Legends, stuff like that. So there's a ton of them. There's like 12 or something games, and I think I have maybe 8 or 9. I mean, I'm getting up there on them, so it's cool to find Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires, because I think I had 4. Then now actually some RPGs here. The first one is one I had never heard of until now, but it is called The Nightmare of Druaga. And my buddy Aaron said it's not even that great of a game anyway, but another RPG to add. Rogue Galaxy. I've heard really good things about this, and I actually have this just disc only, so it's cool to find a complete copy. And then lastly is another really good RPG on the PS2, which I have played, and I own it already. I really enjoyed it, and that is Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. I don't think mine has the Final Fantasy XII demo, which isn't a huge deal. I'll probably still end up trading this off. But I have played it. I said I really enjoyed it. It's a tough game, but I like the Dragon Quest games anyway. So this one was honestly in really good condition, especially for being there, and I think between the two of us, I think we actually bought 3 copies of this game, and I just kept 1. But these 3, and I don't know if you can tell because my camera's not the greatest, but they're a little bit faded. I'll try to get a little bit better. I actually replaced the cases on these because they were just absolutely awful. Here, I'll show you. You can see just falling apart. They were all just disgusting, and so those three I replaced the cases on. But I thought, like I said, for $10 for my share of these games, we paid $30 total, and then he kept a bunch. Like I said, there were 2 other copies of Dragon Quest VIII. I think Okaj was one of the games, Shadow King, which is a pretty weird RPG. There were a handful of stuff. So great stuff, though. So that is my $20. I paid $10 for these stacks. I paid $5 for these 2 games. And then I paid another $5 for Final Fantasy XII. So let me see what you got, Zach. Thanks again, man, for having me on.
All right, cool. So a bunch of PS2 stuff. I personally see PS2 going the exact same way that the PS1 went, both in desirability and in the price going up. So especially RPGs and stuff like that, and complete games, because GameStop for a long time was throwing out cases and manuals. So those, besides the stuff that us divers actually found and took out, I mean, a lot of it's just gone. So yeah, so if, keep a lookout for PS2 stuff. So as for my haul, I was driving down the road and one lady had a random tag sale. And tag sales are all but wrapped up. I mean, they're gone. It's way late in the season up in Massachusetts for that stuff. So anyway, I stopped, and she had 3 Game Boy Advance games on her table. I asked her how much she wanted, and she just said $2 a piece. None of these are bootlegs, which is nice. There's tons of bootleg Game Boy Advance games floating around these days. So the first one I got was Golden Sun: The Lost Age. I have the first one, played through it, and now I've never played this one, so I can't wait to start this one. I got WarioWare Mega Micro Games. WarioWare is like a bunch of mini games, and it's fun. It's nice, fun waste of time. And then the last one I got was Zelda: Link to the Past 4 Swords. I've never played this version. I played 4 Swords on. Yeah, I played 4 Swords. I played Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, so it'd be nice to play this one. Oh, and then as I was buying them, she actually had this Pokemon Gold and Silver Game Boy carrying case, and she just threw it in with the rest of the stuff. So, a deal like that, they say, is like a sore dick, because you can't beat it. So, then I've been going to my local flea market, and the guy started selling games there. He used to have a game store, I mean, about 20 minutes away from me, and his prices are always way too high. He's a guy who doesn't really know anything about video games. He just has a computer, and when you go to buy something, he just looks stuff up on eBay and then charges you that. Anyway, I guess his computer isn't working, or he doesn't know how to turn it on or something, so there's a bunch of sports games, a huge stack of them, and he said everything in there was $2 a piece. And there's actually 2 TurboGrafx games in there, so I have a handful of TurboGrafx games that I bought 10 years ago when I was actually playing the TurboGrafx regularly, but I didn't have either of these, and they're common, but they're complete. I didn't have them, so $2 a piece. TV Sports Hockey, and this is completely complete, even with the card covering. And then the other one was TV Sports Football. So yeah, nothing crazy, but this one doesn't have the outer cover, but nothing crazy, but I didn't have them, so nice to add some complete Turbo games to the collection. The only retail thing I have in here, this is a game, I'm not saying it's rare, and I'm not saying it's going to be expensive, but I've never once ever seen this game in the wild since I've been looking for Wii stuff. I see Excite Bots trick racing all the time, but I never ever see Excite Trucks. So I found this. This was at GameStop. This was $3.59, and it's actually complete. And it looks like it's never even been played. So I meant to play all the stuff that I'm showing today before I actually did the video, but I didn't get a chance to play everything. So Excite Bots is an awesome game. Excite Bike is an awesome game. So I'm pretty sure Excite Truck will kick ass. So pretty much the lesson of the video is if you see a Wavebird wireless receiver, you buy it. I don't care if you don't have the controller to match it with, and I don't care if you even have a GameCube. When you see one, just buy it. I had a Wavebird around here. Oh, you want to hand me that controller that's over there? Yeah. Okay, so this is what a Wavebird looks like. It looks just like a GameCube controller, obviously, but it's the wireless one. It's a little bigger, and then it has the battery cover on the back where the batteries go. But I'm going to tell you 80% of the time that you find Wavebirds, you're not going to find the receiver. They're always missing. This didn't clip into the controller, and it's like a kid with his gloves not tied around his hands, and they're lost. I'm gonna say 80% of the time you're not gonna find them. So if you can find a receiver on its own, always grab them because you can always find the controller. And I'll also say about 50% of the time, a lot of controllers are even missing the back battery cover. So just keep a lookout for it. So anyway, a guy at the same flea market where I got the Turbo games, he had a tub full of controllers, and I dug through the bottom, and at the very bottom there was this Wavebird wireless receiver. So before I found this, I had 3 receivers and 3 controllers. So now I have an extra receiver. I just got to find one more controller, and I'll have all 4 for the set for my GameCube. This was $3, and yeah, like I said, you see it, you buy it. That's it. And then to finish everything off, I went to a Savers, and they sell magazines for 27 cents, which is an oddball price. I don't see why they just don't make it a quarter. But they had a couple game guides there, and they just charged me the price of a magazine. So the first one I got, or the only one I got, was Parasite Eve 2. I've never played this game. I haven't got a chance to play it, but this guide is really nice, and it's in good shape. And I like strategy games. I think they're cool. And then lastly, the last thing I got was Sega made these like robotic, I think they're called Robo-Poochies. They were like robotic dogs in the late 90s or early 2000s. And I have 2 of them. I have the big one, and then I have the one that's in the middle. I'll post a picture right here of all 3 of them. And then McDonald's put out a Happy Meal toy that was in 2000 and 2001, which was the smallest version. So all of these take batteries, and their eyes light up, and they can actually, you talk to them and they like record your voice, and then they can actually respond to what you say, whether you still like stand up or sit down or do whatever. Anyway, they're pretty cool. So these are made by Sega. So I have all 3. Barks Jr., and then Trey Barks. So that wraps up all the stuff that I got. Yeah, so let us know who got the better stuff. Make sure you check out Married Guy Gamer's channel. He's a good friend of mine, and he has a great channel. Before I wrap this up, I just want to talk about a couple things that I've been reading, listening to, and playing. Star Wars is about to come out, the new movie. I personally don't care about Star Wars anymore. I feel like it's completely run into the ground. I hate all the prequel movies, and I've tried to watch them multiple times. I even tried to watch 3 the other day, and it's just really that bad. And the first ones are just so good. Anyway, but there's a trilogy. This is the Han Solo trilogy, and it starts off with the Paradise Snare, the Hutt Gambit, and then it wraps up with Rebel Dawn. These take you from the beginning of Han Solo's life, and where Rebel Dawn ends is where A New Hope begins. So, this runs you through Han Solo meeting Chewbacca. It runs through Han Solo winning the Millennium Falcon in a Sabbac tournament. And it actually fills in some of the holes that are actually in the movie. These were written by A.C. Crispin, who wrote a bunch of science fiction things. So yeah, if you like Star Wars and you like reading, definitely pick those up. Those are my favorite Star Wars books out of all of them that I've read. Unfortunately, none of them are canon anymore because Disney, bought Star Wars and just made nothing canon. Next, I actually don't have this with me anymore, but I played Until Dawn, and Until Dawn, it's on the PS4, and it's pretty much like an interactive slasher flick. And it's really funny because it's super cliche. It's like when you watch like a scary movie and you're like, no, don't open that door. That's exactly what happens in this game. And I tried to keep everyone alive to the end, and everyone pretty much died. I think I only finished the game with 3 people. I swear towards the end of the game, they just want everybody dead, especially that scene in the cottage. But yeah, there's one scene in particular where I was one of the girls. I don't remember which one it was, but I got separated from the group, and like it was literally like it was like the choice: go to the group is to the right, and go investigate a voice was to the left. Why? This is exactly like the idea of like being cliche. Like whatever on the left is nothing good. The group is on the right. Just go to the right. But anyway, of course, I went to the left, and she died. But it's a good game. I'm going to play through at least one more time. I'm going to try to get everybody to the end, but I doubt I'm going to be able to. And let's see. Lastly, the music I've been listening to a lot is "Say Anything Is a Real Boy." Their first CD is "Baseball," and it's okay. Baseball's not a bad record, but I think "Is a Real Boy" and "Was a Real Boy," which are like brother and sister CDs, I think were the best thing they ever wrote and recorded. They had a CD after that called "In Defense of the Genre," which I think is is pretty terrible, and I think it has to do because I think the band left after Is a Real Boy, and then he got a new band during that one. And I don't think they ever did anything as good as that CD. But so anyway, check it out. I think the best songs on there are Whoa and Admit It. So yeah, CD starts off, begins with the Song of Rebellion, and then it just kicks ass all the way through. So that's stuff I've been reading, writing, doing. Those are my pickups. Those are Married Guy Gamer's pickups. So yeah, leave a comment below on who did better, and then we'll catch you on the next $20 challenge. If you want to be on the next one, by the way, just send me a PM and I'll get you on one of the upcoming shows. All right, stay nerdy. Peace.
I got a raging nerd on.